Hello, everybody. Rob Riggle here.
I'm Darren Leader.
Welcome back to Riggle's Picks. We're very excited today because we have a legend with us.
Actual legend.
Actual legend. And I'm so happy and honored that you decided to come join a couple of knuckleheads like Darren and Gary. So thank you for joining us.
See how you did that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie. Can I call you Frankie?
No. Frankie. Frankie's my name.
Okay,
yeah.
Frankie Avalon, everybody. Frankie
Avalon.
Avalon.
Thanks for having me on.
Yes.
I've been hearing a lot about you guys from my son and daughters and young people that love you guys. So it's a pleasure for me to be here.
Well, thank you.
It's an honor to have you. I have
so many
questions.
I know. Well, this is the beautiful thing. So, Frankie being a professional, Gary, Claire. Frankie being a professional shows up early, shows up on time, ready to go. He sits down. He makes pleasant conversation with us, which is wonderful. And in the process of doing that, you and I are sitting there going, well, what about this? And how about this? And what about this? And like we just are spring-loaded with questions.
We had to contain ourselves because prior to starting this episode, and we're going to get into it fast because we only have a certain amount of time today, I want to talk about all the things, but I want to talk about all the things on air. Because
fine.
All right. So
I have a lot of things?
I feel like you might have two things.
You have your journey. Your life has been so amazing. Continues to be. You're still out there performing. You're still doing the work. You're out there still doing the work.
That's because they ask. If they didn't ask, I wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
And I love it. I've been doing it's been 65, 67, 68 years since I've been doing it.
That's amazing.
And have fortunate enough to not only have been on the road like you, Darren, and you also, Robert, you guys are on the road and doing that stuff. But I had a chance to make about 35, 40 films and, television shows and hosting. So a lot of stuff. It's been a great career, guys.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you.
It's been a great one.
So let's just start with this question: what did you prefer doing most? Performing live, singing, making movies, acting, singing, dancing? What did give you the most joy?
Everything. The great thing about that is the variations. All of a sudden you're on stage and you got that feeling of a live performance, and that's wonderful. That's very gratifying, and you're up on what you're doing, and then you go in front of a camera and you're being directed by Bill Asher, Otto Preminger, whoever it may be. I'm working, I'm doing acting with Joan Fontaine, with Walter Pidgeon, John Wayne,
legends.
Legends. All those stuff, it's wonderful. Everything. I just enjoyed it all.
Well, you were sharing some wonderful stories. I was playing golf with Bob Hope. We're like, wow! These are amazing. So the interactions you've had, the people you've got to meet along the way, just phenomenal. I would imagine. And I'm sure there's a thousand stories to go with that. But who influenced you? Probably, would you say, in your journey, in your acting and singing journey?
I'm going to take you really way back, and
please,
who influenced? When I was a kid in South Philadelphia, a neighborhood kid, and what I wanted to do, and only because I was in a neighborhood, there was a thing called PAL, the Police Athletic Club, where they would take the kids off the street so you don't get in trouble, and I learned how to box. And I wanted to be a boxer, and my name, of course, is Avalone. And when the police used to take me into their precinct there, and they had punching bags and all this stuff, they would call me Avalone. And finally, I was like Kid Avalon. Gavilan was Kid Gavilan was a great fighter. Yeah. So I learned how to box and all this other stuff. Yeah. And my father, who was really very talented, never took a lesson in his life, could play guitar, could play anything, could sing. He was just wonderful. He loved music around the house. I didn't like the music at all. I just wanted to be a fighter until I went to see a motion picture. In those days, my mom would send me with a little brown bag and a hoagie sandwich or whatever it may be, and you'd go in there, you'd see cartoons, and then you'd see like the main feature. That happened to be a picture called Young Man with a Horn.
Okay.
Now, it was Kirk Douglas, and the soundtrack was with Harry James. And all of a sudden, he started as a young boy, and he became this successful trumpet player in this film.
Yeah.
I got it.
Wow.
I said, I want to do this.
Did the story resonate with you, or was it the music?
Both.
Okay.
Both. My relationship with that kid up there, my association, that whole thing.
Yeah.
A kid from a neighborhood to see how he becomes this giant star and all. So I came home and I said, Dad, I want to play the trumpet. Well, he just went, oh, okay.
Wow.
He went to a
He
pawn
pounced
shop.
on that.
Pawn shop, $5 horn. He got me. I took the horn. I went into my bedroom. And I played until I got out of there. I played pa da 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 and music. I played that. I came out about 2 hours later. After that, it was my passion.
Wow.
I practiced from morning till night to the neighborhood because I lived in a row house. Shut that kid up with that trumpet. It's enough,
Right.
And I would play it would be summertime. I'd get in our bed. We didn't have showers. I'd get in a bathtub, and I'd sit there with my horn and just practice. I mean, that's how much I lived it.
Really?
You know what? I got so much to tell you about this, but I don't want to.
No, I
tell
love
us.
that, yeah.
We are in.
Yeah.
We already bought the ticket. We want to watch the movie.
Yeah.
Please.
All right. Okay. So now, all of a sudden, my father gets me a teacher in the neighborhood, Danny D., and he starts teaching me. After about a month or so, he goes to my dad and he says, this kid's got talent. He said, I can't teach this guy. He needs somebody. He says, so Danny D. is a trumpet player, says, there's a trumpeter from the Philadelphia Orchestra he teaches. His name is Seymour Rosenfeld. So my father takes me, drives me there. I audition, and I'm going to take lessons. After that, my father had 2-3 jobs at the time, so I had to get in a trolley car, subway, this, that, whatever, and I'd go take a half-hour lesson. And I really played good, okay? So now there's a big star in my neighborhood at that time named Al Martino.
Okay.
Now, do you know that name?
I know the name.
Okay.
I don't.
In The Godfather, he played the singer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
But he had a #1 song all around the world called Here in My Heart. I understand that they're giving him a celebration in the neighborhood, on the streets, and the whole neighborhood was so thrilled that this guy from the neighborhood became such a big star.
Yeah.
And I take my horn, and I make my way through, and I knock on the door. The guy who owned the house, I didn't know him, but his name, later on I found out his name was Silvio Sparagno.
Oh, a nice Jewish boy.
Yeah, but kind of a half mob guy.
Okay.
A number writer or whatever that guy.
Sounds like it.
He says, yeah. I said, could I play my trumpet for Al Martino? He said, who are you? I said, my name is Frankie Avalon. He said, come on in. Now, they're in the middle of a party, all this stuff. I take out my horn. I start to play, and it's like a movie. Everybody stops, and they applaud. Al Martino says to Silvio Sparagno, who's this kid? He said, I don't know. He's from the neighborhood. His name is Frank Avalon. I don't know. He said, ask his mother and father, I got an idea. I'd like to take him to New York to audition for the agency of GAC, which was called General Artists Corporation, right?
Wow.
My mom and dad said, okay. They drive me into New York. I go in. I'll never forget the agent's name was Jack Sobel.
Oh, my gosh.
They start to talk about me. I take out the horn. I play. Jack Sobel says, I got an idea. We represent Jackie Gleason.
Uh-huh.
He loves trumpet. He's right here at the Sheraton Hotel by GAC. Let's go in there. Take me in there. There's the producer, writers, all this other stuff. I don't see Gleason. It's a penthouse.
Yeah.
I take out my horn. I play. I see Gleason through the corner of my eye. He comes out, listens to me play. I finish. They applaud me. Gleason says to his guys, write a show. I want them on in 2 weeks.
Boom.
What?
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Give me the year. Give me a time frame. What are we talking? 50.
I was 11 years old.
So you would have been like 52?
51.
51, 52? Wow.
Yeah.
This is
Wow.
all.
So now I go on, and I do a skit. You could see it on YouTube.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
We got to
Gary,
find
yeah,
that
Gary,
link,
see
Gary.
if you can find that.
All right.
This
So
is-
now
this is
they
what
say to the Silvio Sparagno, who now is my manager. I'm manager's kid now, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So they say to him, the Gleason people, does he do anything else? So he goes, yeah, he tap dances. I never tap danced in my life.
No way.
Yeah.
That's a classic. That's a classic.
Of course.
So there's another kid from the neighborhood, Michael Lanny, we call him, and he teaches me how to huff a little bit, right? Yeah. So about 3 months later, I'm on the Honeymooners.
Oh my gosh!
And I'm playing my trumpet.
Yeah.
And I'm tap dancing.
That is amazing.
So I mean, I really took you guys right now way back.
No,
to the beginning.
Love that though. That is the roots. That's the roots.
The stories that I will tell you in these conversations that we have, how one thing developed into another, into another. Never thought about it. Yeah. Never thought. The good Lord has blessed me, and from one thing to a motion picture. How did I do that? All these things. I don't know.
I was going to ask you.
I love it.
Do you? I mean,
hey, oh my gosh!
Look at you!
Look at
there you go.
What a handsome boy!
That's fantastic.
So, do you feel? It seems like you feel like a fortunate, lucky human who kind of just has good things happen. I mean, obviously, we all have things that are bummers in our life, but generally speaking, do you feel like you've had good fortune the whole way?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely, Darren. I mean, it's like Tom Dreesen, who's my friend. He says, when Frankie falls, he falls up,
It's interesting because some people walk around with a gray cloud over their head and sad things and bummer things happen to them kind of all the time. I have a couple friends like that who, honestly, no matter what they try to do, it just doesn't seem like they're going to catch a break. But then you have people who just are doers and
I like to focus on that.
I love that. That's why I asked the question.
Well, also I want to ask you too, Frankie, because you look amazing. You're still sharp as a whip, funny, great storytelling. Your recall on these names and everybody,
it's freaking me out.
It's amazing, and you look great. So what's the secret? You got the fountain of youth? What is it?
Well, first of all, a lot of wine is very good for you.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah, no, I really do. I grew up like that, and as an Italian family, they put a little water in it, sort of, but and I like my wine, I like my pasta, and all this other stuff. I don't know. I herbs.
Okay, explain that. What does herbs mean?
Okay,
to you.
I lived in North Hollywood when I first got married, and there was this little place called Herb Products, and it looked interesting to me. So I walked in there, and this guy, John, who owned this place, and there were like vats of different kinds of powders and things and all this other stuff. And I got to talking with him, and he started to tell me about what herbs are, what they really is, as opposed to vitamins. Not the vitamins are, but he told me about herbs. Okay. So I started to get involved into herbs, and I would go to Gola, I would take ginseng, I would take all that, and still do. Yeah. And that's what got me involved into that. And so because of that, I started, people started asking me, what do you do? What do you do? Yeah. And I would tell them. So I started a company, and I created some products called Frankie Avalon's.
You have your own herbs?
My own herbs, yeah.
Oh, awesome.
And I've got another product. Well, guys.
Actually, you're a perfect testimonial for your own herbs because they're clearly working.
You are the spokesperson.
You are.
Well, no, talk about, you see these on television, that one company that does fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
I started that. I was the first one to come out with fruits and vegetables. I was the first one to come out with a product called Zero Pain, which I found with John, and it was a first roll-on pain reliever ever in the world.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
You're the guy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that because I use that all the time.
Yeah. Zero Pain it's a roll-on. I have a cream. I've got my fruits and vegetables, and I go on Facebook and I talk about it, and a lot of people respond to it.
Is that why you're still a 7 handicap?
No more. Are you kidding? Forget that 7 handicap.
Do you have the handicap lowerer herb? Because I want that thing.
No, I understand you're a good player, Darren.
I can hit the ball.
Yeah, I need the roll-on though because I get like golfer elbow.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Oh bad.
I will definitely get you.
I need
there
that
it is.
roller.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's my stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I like
good.
this. We'll put a link up because this is good.
So if I can use that stuff and look and be as sharp as you, I will do it.
Yeah.
Because
it really does work. I mean, I've got wonderful response from Arnold Palmer. I've got a letter on my wall there. Frankie, thank you for the zero pain.
Oh, nice.
Ernie Banks would use it. A lot of athletes, a lot of people. And the fruits and vegetables, believe it or not, these are really, truly fruits and vegetables the way we do it. I don't want to go through the whole process of it, but it really does work. I take 2 a day in the afternoon. I wake up because I've had a good night's sleep, but I wake up in the afternoon. It gives me a good amount of energy for the rest of my day. I've been doing it. Yeah.
All right, we need those.
we do because
I'll get you guys some.
Thank you. I have an important question.
Yeah.
Fire.
Have you ever seen Arnold Palmer drink an Arnold Palmer?
Oh, that's a good question.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I just wanted to know.
Okay, so because we're limited on time, I want to keep moving forward, if you don't mind. I just want to keep, because there's so much stuff to cover, and I want to cover as much as I can, because this is a very cool opportunity for us and for our audience. So, so you start young. You're making incredible progress. You're on the Honeymooners at 11. Playing your trumpet and tap dancing, which you learned in very short order.
Right.
Let's jump into the 60s, because this is when I think of Frankie Avalon.
Yep.
I think a lot of the 60s and 70s.
Beach
No,
movies.
it's 50s.
Was it the 50s?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the beach blanket movies.
Oh, no, that's way later.
That was 60s, right?
Yeah, that was 60s.
60s.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe walk me through a little bit of because you had number one hits. Songs.
Oh, yeah.
But then you were also in number one hit movies.
Yeah.
And kind of iconic movies.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about that. What was let's cut to the late 50s, mid 50s.
Okay, here's what happened.
Yeah.
Time goes by. I become first trumpeter of all Philadelphia Orchestra. I get involved.
Wow.
You just kind of glossed over that.
I know, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful thing.
And all of us, and then summertime comes along, and I want to make some money, so I join a band, a rock and roll band at the time called Rocco and the Saints.
Like it.
Oh, wow.
I like it.
And we play Bay Shores, Summers Point. We played 7 days a week, 5 sets a night, 2 jam sessions.
Amazing.
And we lived on top of the joint. And our drummer, Rocco, we worked for Rocco, was Bobby Rydell.
Okay.
I don't know if you know Bobby Rydell.
I know the name.
Okay. He had a lot of hit records.
Yeah.
He was in Bye Bye Birdie. He played Hugo.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, of course.
So now, all of a sudden, the band breaks up. Before that, a record company comes in, and they listen to our band, and they sign us.
Good fortune again.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, I only sang a couple of songs with the band. I was the trumpet player. So now Rocco says to me, you got to start singing more. I said, Rocco, I want some more money. He said, I'll give you an extra $5. So I started singing a little bit more. So now this record company signs, and they say, okay, we want to do an instrumental called Jivin' with the Saints. That's our first record. And on the other side, it was called Cupid Shot an Arrow, and we want Frankie to sing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Rocco, I'll sing.
Yeah.
Okay, now the record comes out, bombs, but the band breaks up. Yeah. But we do a movie called Jamboree. We all drive in. They paid us $230 for the 7 guys that we went there with a big bass, driving, that
Amazing.
stuff. So we do it, and I'm the featured singer.
Yeah.
So the band breaks up, and the record company says, we got to take this kid with me. So they buy me a $12 suit. And they take me to it was Buffalo, believe it or not.
Okay.
And there was a dance called Bishop Timon. Okay. So now I got this $12 suit, and I lip sync this record, with these kids, and all of a sudden these kids start to say, "Who's your fan club? We want to join your fan club." So now the record company says, "Hey, these kids like this kid."
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. More and more, all of a sudden, another record. All of a sudden, I become a teenage idol.
Well, you got charisma. Let's be honest. You had a certain panache on stage.
Now, you know what it was for me? Embarrassing. I'll tell you what.
Was it?
Oh, my God. Are you kidding, Darren? All right. When I was in school, I was a nice-looking kid, whatever, but best dressed and best looking in the book and all that stuff. And nobody screamed, whatever. I can't. I need police now. I can't go anywhere.
Oh, my God.
I don't know what's going on.
Teen Idol.
Are you kidding? Now I'm getting 12, 15,000 letters a day. Now I become a recording artist. I record a song called Dee Dee Dinah, which I did it as a gag.
Yeah.
And the producer says to me, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, it's very staccato, the
Right.
music. You know, in those days, Darren, we had 2 tracks. You know,
Sure.
Band is over here, you hear. So I did rehearsing, and I'm going, there is no girl that is fine. Let's make it like that. They make it like that. Put it out.
Monster.
It becomes a number 5.
You are a walking 4-leaf clover.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
You're a rabbit's foot.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
And then you know what? I fell into a giant pile of money.
Right.
I
So-
love this.
What time frame is this? Are we talking late
Now
50s?
we're talking about, I started recording in 1957.
So you and Elvis were hitting about the same time.
He was before me. He was like 55.
Okay.
See, there were the 3 guys, the way they put it.
Yeah.
There was, as teen idols.
Right.
There was Elvis, Ricky Nelson, and Frankie Avalon.
Wow.
That was the first 3.
Yeah.
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 That's
Now, that's
crazy.
how I got into movies. How do you think I got into movies?
Because you're a teenage heartthrob.
That's right, because Warner Brothers says to the record company, get this kid. He'll bring in a young generation. I do my first film, Guns of the Timberland, starring Alan Ladd.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Western hero.
Jeannie Crane, right?
Yeah.
Now, I got to drive a buckboard with horses. The only horse I know is up and down the street, you know. So I do
Yeah,
it.
you're a kid from South Philly. You're out there
That's right.
driving horses
That's
and
right.
wagons now?
So now, John Wayne is doing a picture called The Alamo, and he sees the rough cut of what I did with this picture with Alan Ladd.
Yeah.
He said, get him. I want him to play Smitty. Now, I'm in a picture with John Wayne, Richard Widmark. Are you kidding?
How was John Wayne?
Great. I
Was
loved it.
he what I think he was? Just like
A giant.
man.
And I'll tell you, tough as hell.
Ah!
Are you
Thank
kidding?
you, Frankie.
And he was a director.
Really?
He produced it. He put his money in it. A director. We were in Brackettville, Texas for 4 months, 5 months, living nowhere around us but horses and cows and this and that. And I'm a kid from South Philly. You know what I brought with me? 2 of my buddies from the neighborhood.
Yeah, of
You're not gonna
course.
believe
Smart
this guy.
move.
Sonny, Troy, and Hucklebuck.
Really?
And Hucklebuck was a tile setter.
Yeah.
And Sonny Troy was my guitar player. We grew up as kids playing. you know.
Wow.
That's fantastic. Did they get to any extra work in the movie?
I made sure of that.
Yeah, good, good.
See,
I
this
s-
is why it's like he's looking after his friends.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was great.
yeah. That's that good karma.
So then we fast forward into the beach movies. Let's get there because we do not have near enough time to cover this.
Frankie and was it Frankie and Annette?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you two were kind of a thing for a while.
In films,
In
yeah.
films, yeah.
yeah.
It was always I always remember
don't
your
forget, guys.
your names.
Don't forget, I had made a few pictures before all
Yeah.
that stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean, from the Alamo, I did Robert Wagner. I did a film with Robert Wagner. I did, I can't even remember.
I'm not
right
trying to
now.
gloss over it, but I don't want you to think I was being disrespectful by not mentioning those films.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, good.
No, but then what happened was I had signed a contract with American International Pictures, non-exclusive, and I did a picture with Ray Milland. You know Ray Milland, he was an Academy Award winner, Lost Weekend.
Yeah.
You know, and he directed, and it was a little picture called Panic in Year Zero,
Okay.
and it comes out, and there you go.
Yeah.
Wow, how did you guys get that? And it did very well at the box office. So I got friendly with the writer, Lou Russoff. And I had bought a house, Frank Lloyd Wright House.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice house.
Where,
Well done.
Pasadena?
No, in Beverly Hills.
Wow.
And I was dating a lot of the stars, Anne Margaret, this one, that one. You know, so I had a great time there. We had Jack Nicholson. We would all hang out. It was a great place. You know?
Oh,
Unbelievable.
man. That's so
And Margaret.
And so I said to Lou Russoff, I said, why don't you write something like for young guys and gals and this and that? About a month later, he comes to me and says, read this script. So I read it. It's called Beach Party. I said, Jesus, I really like it. I said, who's going to play opposite? He said, I think we're going to get the girl on loan out from Disney, Annette Funicello. I said, geez, that's great. I dated her a couple of times. I took her to have pizza or something like that, So now we go make this picture. Bill Asher, I did a special with him. It was a live special that he directed. And it was a very successful thing that happened on television. So we go in and we make the first beach party picture. Yeah. Opening scene, I'm driving. We're singing, "We got an early start. We're gonna have a ball. We're gonna ride this side." And I get up and I got to pick her up and kick open the door. And I say, "Well, I waited a long time for this, boy. It's just gonna be you and me." And I kick open the door, and all of a sudden I trip over all the guys and girls. What are you doing? I finished that scene. I go to Bill. I said, "Bill, there's something. Yeah, it's going to be fun."
Yeah.
And that was it. We did 7 films after that.
Wow.
That's so cool.
Yeah. It's such an iconic time, too.
Yeah.
In American history. It was a very cool time. And that was a movement and an energy, and it was that California vibe that was finally going back. It was reaching back across the country with the Beach Boys and the movies on the beach. It was a very special time.
But you know what they found out? They would do a little research, a survey. They found out it wasn't the surfing. It was Frankie and Annette.
Yeah.
It was the 2 young lovers.
The chemistry.
And she, Frankie was always trying to get her to go to this, and she said, "Not until I get a ring." There's morals to those things.
It was wholesome.
That was wholesome.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
the stars we had in those pictures. Are you kidding? Can you imagine me sitting talking to Buster Keaton while we're shooting a film that he would tell me how he started this, that?
He played the mechanic, right? Wasn't he a car guy in one of the movies?
Don Rickles. Don Rickles.
He did that.
He did 3 pictures with us.
Okay.
But Buster Keaton played the guy with the young girl. He didn't say much.
I remember him being in those films.
Yeah.
So I was Don, who was more the mechanic guy who worked on the cars.
Well, he had 3. When the first one he did was called Muscle Beach Party.
Yeah.
And he had a string of muscle men. Then the second one he did was Bikini Beach.
Yeah.
And he was a race car. His name
kind of what I remember.
Drag racing.
Yes,
his name was Big Drag.
That's it.
Then we did another one where it was skydiving,
Yeah.
and he was whatever his name was there. But I forget.
I was so fortunate when I was on The Daily Show. I got an opportunity. Oh, yeah, Big Drag. I got an opportunity to spend some time with Mr. Rickles and just enjoyed the hell out of it. He was very kind to me. Very nice.
I'll tell you, what a sweet guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing our films.
Yeah.
He ain't the Don Rickles yet.
Yeah.
He's living in an apartment with his mother, Etta.
Right.
And she would make me sandwiches, corned beef sandwiches. He would take them, And he was a mover. Yeah. I mean, he knew how to work his way and finally became the Don Rickles.
Right.
I loved him.
He found his
voice. I would take him golfing. I mean, stories with him and I are incredible.
Well, he found his voice, which is kind of all comedians, they start out just trying. And if you're throwing anything against the wall and see if it sticks. Eventually, you find your own voice. You find the thing that makes you you. And it takes a long time to get there because the thing is you don't trust yourself. Right. When he found himself, that's when he was
legendary.
Yeah, that's when he went to the next level.
Well, don't forget, he found himself because he was in the lounge. Yeah. And his time on stage was at 4 in the morning.
Always.
And he would see these drunks, losers with the gambling.
Yeah.
You puck.
Right.
That's where he got that thing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
The one thing that me personally and my kids remember is Grease. Beauty School Dropout.
Yeah.
Great song.
Uh-huh.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
You performed it beautifully. And it had the song, it was a great tune, but the way you perform it in the movie is fantastic too.
Well, I turned it down.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was playing golf at Lakeside, and my manager at the time was a man by the name of Dick Link. I don't know if you know that name. He was the producer of the Griffith Show, all those television things, And he was waiting. I got off at number 9, and he said, I got a script for you. I said, what is it? He said, it's from Paramount. It's a picture they want you for. I said, what is it? He said, Grease. I said, what character? He said, Teen Angel. And I thought about it. I'd seen the play on Broadway because I was working at the Copacabana, and I went to see it. And I said, pass. He said, okay.
Wow.
I come off the 18th hole. He said, they say they won't take no. They want to see you. They want to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
So I go in with Randall Kleiser, Alan Carr, and they say, why don't you want to do this? I said, because I saw the play. Yeah. Teen Angel is an extension of Elvis. I'm not Elvis. I don't have the long sideburns. Yeah. I don't do the gyrations. I don't sing like that. I got my own style. Yeah. They said, we'll change it. Oh. I said, what do you mean we'll change it? I said, he came all black, and no, we'll change it to all white. We'll do this with that. So they designed the role the way I wanted to do it.
Wow.
I'm so glad they did, because I can't imagine it any other way.
Yeah.
Good for you for saying no.
Yeah, I know. Right.
For real.
Yeah, really.
But I can't imagine it any other way, and you're so perfect in that role.
Well, yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. I don't know. It was just wonderful. Now, listen to this. I do 6 days of rehearsals on the soundstage, right? Now we go to shoot it. I'm up 30 feet. Yeah. The director's name is Randall Kleiser. After a couple of takes, we're doing this. I've come off and we're setting up again. He says, Frankie, do you remember me? I said, no, Randall, I don't. He said, I was an extra in Fireball 500, one of your pictures. I said, are you kidding?
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. He was dedicated to the town and to the art of filmmaking. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I hate to be this guy, but I'm going to be this guy.
What?
We're getting the signal, and we have a minute left. And
dang.
I don't want it to be this way, but it is.
Okay.
So I'm going to say this. Would you come back at some point?
Absolutely.
Okay, yes, thank you.
Listen, from time to time, guys, I love doing this.
Yeah.
I love reminiscing. It makes me feel good.
We love it, too.
You should do your own podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
think about
possibility, yeah.
You should definitely think about that, because you could sit here for years and tell these stories, and you would have captivated audiences, I promise you.
Well, thanks a lot for having me. I enjoyed it.
No, what an honor for us.
You guys are just wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Make me feel very comfortable. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You make us feel comfortable, more comfortable than we do on our own podcast. It's great.
Frankie Avalon, everybody. Thank you again, and I do hope you come back. I really
Thank
do.
you. I will.
Yeah, thank you. All right, everybody. Hey, this has been Riggle's Picks. I'm Rob Riggle.
I'm Darren Leader.
Thanks for joining us.